Any questions?
What kind of service plan does this come with?
Unlimited.
Can I keep my same phone number?
Absolutely.
How do I change the ringtone?
Just hook it up to your computer.
Does it have a camera? What's the warranty? Does it come in silver? Can I put my party shuffle on this? Does it have a 3.5 millimeter headset jack? You sell a lot of these?
It's the one I carry.
You ever get those phantom vibrations in your pocket?
Any questions?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Ask questions. For the 10 questions everyone should know, go to ahrq.gov.
Welcome to This Week with Sheriff Dave Phalen, a weekly program on LSN television and also carried on a number of radio affiliates throughout Fairfield County. Do appreciate you, the viewers and listeners that join us each and every week, and certainly the folks here at Fairfield Christian Academy, the students that produce and put this program together with no charge at all. And it certainly is a wonderful way for the Sheriff's Office to share things that are going on within the Fairfield County Sheriff's Office. Back is Lieutenant Tim Voris.
Hi, Sheriff.
Good
How are
to see you.
Good seeing you, sir.
Lots of good things going on.
A lot of good things going on.
Closing in on Christmas coming up.
Tis the season for holiday, yes, sir.
Tis the season.
Tis the season for Scrooge.
Yeah, well, we've already done that.
Oh, that's right. You did Scrooge.
Yeah, we did.
That's right. Yeah,
It was a great evening.
It was a great evening. That's right. Yeah, went very well.
Yeah, we got a lot of nice comments, and so it went very well.
Yeah. So you're recouping from the.
Well, trying.
Okay.
Trying.
All right. Good.
Okay.
Good. Now you got to get your Santa hat on.
I got it. We're going for Santa next.
All right. There we go.
Now, Christmas coming up.
Yes, sir.
And if you think back, what's one of your special memories about Christmas?
I remember Santa Claus coming to my home once.
He did?
We had a friend that was down the street, I think, who
Okay.
I think was the friend. And
Okay.
He was kind of going door to door to the kids in the neighborhood, and it was kind of fun to see him come on there and stuff.
Okay.
I remember when we first got married, we lived out in the country. We had horses, and I'd get on one of our old horses that we had and tie a rope around it back to a sleigh, and I'd pull Lindsay, our oldest daughter, on it. She was probably 4 or 5 years old, and we'd just ride through the fields and stuff with her on the sleigh.
Well, that's kind of like a Currier and Ives Christmas, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a good time.
Through the snow and everything?
Through the snow and everything. It was fun. It was a fun time.
That's very cool.
Yeah. So.
You know, one thing I always think about Christmas is every Christmas Eve, growing up and into adulthood, we would go to my grandmother's house. And she lived around Johnstown, lived on a farm right across from Lynn's fruit farm. But I can't think of any Christmas Eve that I wasn't there.
Yeah.
And she died in the 80s. She was 97 years old. But I can remember how I kind of, that next Christmas, I said, boy, this is kind of like, I really miss this, because we really kind of enjoyed going out to Grandma's, and she was the typical grandma out there and baking stuff and everything, and had a little house and a barn, but it's, in fact, it's at the corner of 310 and Morris Road, right on the corner out there. House is still there.
House is still there.
House, but it's great memories, and
it's a great time of the year. Just to have your family together and enjoy the holiday and the reason for the season.
The reason for the season,
Yep.
the birth of Jesus Christ. And I
Yep.
think sometimes with all the commercial aspects of it, we kind of forget why we celebrate.
That's exactly right. I think sometimes that's set on the back burner. But
Now, as we get into Christmas, a couple weeks ago we talked about some safety things, and I know this is kind of going into the last few days. There's a lot of people going into the stores doing this. So let's just kind of briefly cover some things that the shoppers need to keep in mind if they're out shopping during these last few hectic days, because the stores are packed. There's going to be a lot of things going on,
Sure.
Lots of people. So what are some things to keep in mind?
well, I always suggest you go shopping during the day.
Good.
Make sure that's during the daylight hours if you can. Make sure you have a relative or friend with you. Try to keep your purse close to you. Pay attention to where that's at. And if you're going to take packages out to your car, make sure you're putting them in a trunk or covering them up so that they can't be seen. Oftentimes we find individuals that are looking through lots so they can commit a crime of opportunity. And the more you put those away where they can't be seen, the better off you're going to be.
Great. And what about leaving purses in shopping carts and things?
Well, I
You see
don't
that?
recommend that, because what happens is, as you're shopping along, and my wife does it too, she'll be pushing the cart along with her purse up in the front of it and get distracted and start looking at an item, and somebody can walk by, pick up those purses and walk on down the aisleway, which, as I, a police officer, know, we've had reports of those, not often, but we have them every holiday season where people are taking an opportunity because they know what's going on, they know people are shopping, they know that they're being distracted by a lot of things. And one of the things, too, is the mail. If you're going to deliver mail, we suggest you pay attention to a couple of different things. UPS drivers, oftentimes, they're going to be delivering packages
That's a good point.
to a lot of homes in the county.
That's right.
And sometimes we find individuals will drive and follow those UPS guys, stop and pick up a package after they've dropped it off.
That's a good point.
So make sure that you know, or at least have an idea when that package is going to arrive, and take in consideration those safety aspects. And people will send a lot of things in the mail today to family and friends. So just be cautious about that. Try not to put that flag up during the day and leave the mail in there, because it doesn't, I don't think we go a year without somebody losing some mail, somebody driving by picking mail out of the mailboxes while they're out.
And as we go back to shopping, I think something else we probably should keep in mind. A lot of times, ladies will have the purse on their arm. Someone will grab it, and we kind of advise, go ahead and let go.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to get into an altercation where you're assaulted or something like that.
Let them have it.
Yeah. Many years ago, my oldest daughter, and she was actually a student at Ohio State University, and she was walking in the alley, and this goes back many years, but someone tried to grab her purse. She held onto it, and she was hit several times in the face.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
So we just go ahead. It's not worth it, and give us a call right away. The other thing that happens a lot of times during these kind of emergencies, when something like that happens, when there's kind of a robbery or whatever, many times they don't call law enforcement first, they'll call home.
Yeah.
So we need to get that call right away.
Yeah, call the sheriff's office, let us know what happened, so we can get a cruiser in that area, come over, get a report, or do what we can do to try to check the area out. We'd rather come and check it out and make sure it was okay than not get that call at all.
That's right. If you see anything suspicious while you're out, and if you see someone in a parking lot, if you see someone in your neighborhood, a car, something suspicious, go ahead and let us know, because we would rather go out 10 times and have it be nothing than have that one time where someone didn't call and they broke in a house, they robbed someone in the parking lot of the shopping mall or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. One of the things I wanted to mention to you, Sheriff, is that if you're going to be on a trip, make sure you got a plan.
Well, that's a good point, because a lot of people are going to be traveling after Christmas or even in the next week or two.
Exactly. Going on family trips, taking extended vacations during this holiday season. Make sure you got a plan. Make sure that you're keeping some things, a blanket, some bottled water. A lot of people are having the GPS's things in their cars today. So make sure that you know where you're going. Make sure you're checking your traffic routes for construction. If you think that may be a problem there, make sure you know ahead of time the amount of time you're going to take to get there. Take your car to a local service shop that you trust. Make sure that they're getting the oil change for you. They're checking all your fluids, all your hoses, all the things that are necessary.
Check those belts.
Check the belts, tires, all those things that are important for you before you begin the trip. That's the last thing you want to do. I know you've had it happen to you. You've had it to me. You get on a trip, we have a flat tire, we have to change it, or something happens to us. So be prepared. Start off on the right foot in getting out and getting on that trip on the way, and then you can kind of deal with any issues once you get there. But it's important to get that car serviced before you go.
And I think, again, planning is the key ingredient. It's always safer to drive during the daylight hours when it's light rather than night, to take your time to make sure that you've got your car serviced and all those kind of things in the trunk to have a safe vacation. Now, what are some things that they should do as far as notifications if they're going to be away from home, to make sure that their home stays safe and secure while they're gone?
Yeah. Well, the first advice is trust a friend. Trust a good neighbor that you can count on that's going to keep an eye on your home for you, whether it's picking up the mail, picking up the newspapers, checking on any livestock that you may have, checking on anything that may need checked on while you're gone. and make some plans with them while they're doing that. Give them the numbers to reach them in case they need to call you. And call the sheriff's office. We have a great vacation watch program. We'll check it once every shift if we can, and let us know that you're going to be gone, because our deputies like to know if, let's say you have 10 people in the neighborhood and 5 of them are gone. Boy, we sure like to know that, so we can make an extra patrol around that area for you.
And I think some other things is make sure you get the mail stopped,
Yes.
newspaper stopped, make sure that you put lights on timers, and if you have bushes, make sure you've got those trimmed
down,
so they're not blocking windows, and all those kind of things seem to help. And I think the first one you mentioned, make sure that you have a trusted neighbor that you can trust, that'll keep an eye on. They see those packages, they see a newspaper laying on the porch, they'll go ahead and get it. And again, if you happen to be one of the people that are going to Florida or somewhere for the winter, make sure if we get one of these snows that somebody goes over there and at least shovels a little path around the house, because if you're a burglar, you're driving around the neighborhood and you see that snow piled up, you know nobody's been around for a while,
That's
right?
exactly right, and that's what they're looking for, is what can we get in and get out in a quick way. And most of the time, if your house looks like nobody's been there for a big period of time, they're probably going to look at that a little bit closer.
So how do people get on the vacation watch?
Well, you're welcome to call the Fairfield County Sheriff's Office to the Civil Division, and use the line to get through to the Civil Division, and they will take the information for you. We'll list who you are, where you live at, what kind of vehicles are going to be on the property, and emergency contact in case we find something that's out of the ordinary.
And the other thing we try to do, which is very well accepted, is the fact that when you get home, I will be sending you a letter, and it will tell you the days and the times that we checked your home. And if we saw something like a package on the porch or something, we go ahead and make note of that, because we want our citizens to understand that we do take this serious, and we appreciate the folks that participate in this, because we want to keep your home safe. And it is, without exception, the most popular program we do within the Fairfield County Sheriff's Office. Always has been.
Always
as long
has
as I've
been.
been sheriff. Maybe probably your 28 years there, it's been one of the most popular, right?
It sure has, and it does a couple of things. One, as a patrolling officer that I'm out there in those neighborhoods and patrolling my district, I want to know where I need to check and make sure that is, if I have neighbors that are gone out of a cul-de-sac, I want to make sure I'm making an extra patrol through there to make sure that those houses are safe and secure. And our deputies try to get out and talk to people and find out as many times as they can who's not going to be around, so they can pay that extra attention to them. And we've got our community watch out.
Last month, you graduated 10 more community watch members?
Community watch members. And
good for you.
We're glad they're moving forward with they completed their training. They're going to be riding with our deputies soon. They're going to be sitting in our radio room kind of observing. They go through an 8 hours in each of the jail, the radio, and then on the road for 8 hours. And then they're going to go back with their block captains to learning a little bit more about the neighborhoods in Fairfield County. So we're looking forward. Got a engineer that is a retired chemical engineer, 30-year school teacher that retired, a mechanic who has been with the company for a long time. He does a great job on body work and stuff. Nice young man. So everybody's got a different unique talent and gift, and they want to get back to Fairfield County. They want to use it to help the citizens and their neighborhoods stay safe and secure.
Now, for our viewers or listeners that may not know what the Community Watch program is, tell us just a little bit about that.
Well, our Community Watch program is a volunteer organization. It's a mobile neighborhood watch program.
Okay.
Where people have came in, they've gone through the training, they go out, they observe and report any suspicious activity. As being on the scrap team, I'm always getting good information from our community watch member, because they're out in the community talking to people. What kind of problems are you having in the neighborhood? How can we help? Hey, I wanted to let you know. So they're a great resource.
And again, they don't make arrests. It's just an extension of the eyes and ears of the Fairfield County Sheriff's Office. They're in cars that are clearly marked Community Watch.
Yes.
And they get in locked cars. They do a lot of great things. Do a little traffic patrol now and then.
They do a lot of great things, and they're out in the neighborhoods patrolling, and we're looking for some new things for them to do this year to help us out with.
If someone was interested in a future class, I know we just graduated one, but if someone was thinking, this may be something I want to get involved in the community, I want to give back, how do they do that?
Well, I would suggest they can go to our website. We have our applications on our Fairfield County website. If you click on Community Watch, and download that application, complete that application, get it notarized, and send it in to us. We'll put them on that list for that next group that we're going to put through.
With us this afternoon is Lieutenant Tim Voris with the
Thank you,
Fairfield
sir.
County Sheriff's Office, a 28-year veteran, involved in a host, works on our special deputies, community watch, public relations, and a host of different activities.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And do appreciate you, the viewers and listeners. And again, I thank the folks here at Fairfield Christian Academy, the students that put this program together each and every week, J.T. Burcham and the group. And we are just so honored to be able to have a program, a venue like this, where we get to share a lot of things going on within the county, and certainly our radio affiliates throughout Fairfield County that are nice enough to go ahead and put this program together. Well, the clock on the wall says we've got to go. Until next week, same time, same place. God bless. If you're driving, buckle up, and we'll see you right here next week.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.